some really interesting news for you guys involving the Washington football team. After 50 years of having a cheerleading program, they're dropping it for a co-ed dance squad. Now, in case if you guys don't know what that means, co-ed means both boys and girls. That's actually really interesting, I think. Um, Petra Pope was the one behind this decision, and she said the goal is to create a more modern franchise. Now, if that name means anything to you, or you're familiar with that name, Petra Pope spent 33 years in the NBA before this. She started with the Lakers as a manager of the Lakers girls, the cheerleading squad and whatnot. They have cheerleaders too. She also started the Knicks City Dancers, and she also worked for the New Jersey Nets when they were in New Jersey. Now they're the Brooklyn Nets. And she served as a consultant since 2016. I I think that's concerning the Nets, or it could be concerning the football team. I'm not sure. You can correct me in the comments below. Um, but yeah, I have a quote from her as well. And I quote, "With that comes inclusive inclusivity, diversity, and in my mind, as an entertainer, athleticism. My desire is to create a team that is all of that, inclusive, diverse, co-ed, athletic, to set a gold standard in the NFL. We're looking for that super athlete that can dance, perform tricks, and stunts and manipulate whatever props that will create a really great show." Um, something to mention that the former cheerleaders that were on the football team cheerleading squad are eligible to try out for the dance squad, which is pretty cool. I like how they're not just throwing them under the bus, and they're actually giving them a chance to try out for this cool dance squad. She also mentioned that they'll hire 36 dancers or more, so there could be more than that. And this was written by John Keane, who's an ESPN staff writer. So, Mario, Mario, I'll start off with you first because this is a really interesting topic. What do you think of the Washington football team dropping their cheerleading squad in favor of a co-ed dance squad?
I mean, look, first of all, I just want to say best of luck to the co-ed dance squad that's going to be coming out. Hopefully they have as much success as the cheerleaders. I gotta be honest with you, Nate. Like, it's a good opportunity for, like, obviously men and women to kind of like put on something, a show, and something that's new to the fans. While the football team is not out. But at the same time, though, it's an opportunity taken away, because even though cheerleaders can try out for this, a lot of cheerleaders, I feel like, will lose their job, considering now they're adding women and men. So not every single girl from the cheerleading squad is going to be able to get their job back, which is very unfortunate. And I got a notification on my phone, and just recently, and it had the one of the cheerleaders, and she doesn't seem too happy. And she says, "Okay, thanks for letting us know this way. Very kind of you," like kind of sarcastic. And then she says, "Washington NFL, you are sick, LOL. And to dissolve the position of an overqualified Black woman, Jamila Keene, please Google her and what contributions she made to the Washington NFL, and to hire a white woman instead who is qualified, yes, but has no experience running an NFL chair team or even Washington football team culture is comedy." We have a co-ed team already. They are called the R team and do an amazing job on game days. That team could have easily been expanded into a hip-hop team as well, seeing as most ladies that audition for that team have already tried out for chair. And I'm gonna actually I'll send Nate this article too, so he can put it in the description below, so you guys can kind of read the comments, because I feel like that is really important. But let me be honest with you, Nate. Sorry if the view right now looks weird. It's because I'm on my phone. But let me be honest with you, Nate. It is an opportunity, like, taken away from some people, but in other people, it's an opportunity to gain. And
Absolutely.
like she said, they had a men's cheerleading like squad too. And again, she said their squads could have been combined to create a hip hop dance team as well. So there are going to be people who are happy about it, and there are going to be people who are upset about it. It's the way some like choices, a lot of choices in the world. That's just the way it is. Some people are going to be happy about it. Some people are not. You can't please everybody. With that being said, they want to go to a more modernized thing. And honestly, I have a lot of respect for dancers, not like actual professional dancers, and not trashing, like, I ain't trashing like TikTokers or nothing like that, but dancers who are like professional and who like work at professional studios and work on their craft to come up with a dance routine. I think it really is cool. A lot of those dancers could do like dances that I can only dream of doing. Like me, like Nate knows, I can barely hit a gritty. So to be honest with you, I
Yeah,
got
it
a little bit.
sucks.
First of all, my Grady's amazing. Don't talk. Nate's like the worst dancer I think I've ever seen of all time. But with that being said, I got a little bit of moves myself. Am I going to try out for the dance team? No. But going back to the actual point I was making, I do have a lot of respect for professional dancers. I think what they do is very, very, unique. I think it's very, I think it takes a lot of talent to become a professional dancer. And I think it is something that the fans could truly enjoy. As for the cheerleaders, I really am sorry for them because, obviously an opportunity is going to be taken away from them. But however, Washington could have easily kept that cheerleading team too, obviously the cheerleading team has been the tradition in the NFL and a lot of sports for so long. And for them to take it away, honestly, it is kind of a bummer. But I mean, with that being said, I wish best of luck to everybody from the dancers to the cheerleaders to the art team that they were talking about to the new lady Pope running the new dance team to Jamil Keenan, I believe her name is. I just want to make sure I get it right. I'm just gonna look at it right now. Hang on a second. I just want to get her name right. Jamila Keen. That's what it is. Jamila Keen. So best of luck from Pope to Keen. And again, I wish the Washington football team the best of luck.
Yeah, as do I. I'll pick up from there. Good luck to all the, dancers, the cheerleaders, and the football team themselves. I was reading this, right, and I was really surprised. It was like at first I was like more modern franchise. I was like, what is that supposed to be? I was like, because every other NFL team has a cheerleading squad. So I mean,
Right.
it just at first it didn't make sense to me, but then I read it and then I was like, oh, okay, that makes a little bit more sense. Yeah, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. When I first read this, I wasn't thinking about the cheerleading part, the cheerleaders themselves. 'Cause some, like you said, when it comes to everything, some people are either gonna like it or they're gonna love it or they're gonna hate it. It's as simple as that. And yeah, man, you're absolutely right, that's something I actually didn't even think of in the first place. Like, what about the other cheerleaders that don't like it? They want to be like every other NFL team, other 31 NFL teams that have cheerleading squads. Some of them like the idea, others don't. But at least they're giving those cheerleaders an opportunity to at least try out for this dance squad. At least they could have
Right.
just been like, let's just make this dance team and screw the cheerleaders. They can go find other jobs elsewhere. At least they're
Right. But
giving them an
still,
opportunity.
right. But still, it's unfortunate because not
Yeah.
every single cheerleader is going to be
Oh
able to
yeah.
keep her job.
Yeah, absolutely. Because not every one of them are going to keep their job. Not all of them are going to like it, so they're probably going to go elsewhere. You know what I mean? So it's to me, and basically in a better situation, but especially this one, it's a 50-50. You either love it or you hate it. You know what I mean? There is no in between. For me though, I mean, it's a new concept. I mean, it is 2021. Most people are very creative these days, and more ideas are starting to come on how to modernize a franchise, and this is one of them. And while it is new and fresh in our minds, and it's you know a different take on how other NFL teams would do it. I mean, this is a little bit different. I guess they did say that this is their way of rebranding the franchise. You know how they dropped the Redskin name and then they brought on the football team name and they're just rebranding ever since. Now a lot of people may be wondering, well, why is this happening? Could this be because of the allegation on Dan Snyder? Now, you don't know what happened to Dan Snyder. We did make a video on that. I'll put that in the description down below. It's a very complicated one, but I remember it's like 12 years ago, 12, 13 years ago, or something like that. Um, he had like a sexual allegation thing involving the cheerleading squad. So some could argue that it has something to do with that, but personally, I'm not so sure. That happened 13 years ago, so who knows? But I personally think this is just them, trying to, like they said, modernize the franchise, try something new, rebrand the franchise as well. That's one of their biggest moves too. Remember, last year, their former name was so controversial that a lot of major brands like Pepsi and Nike was pulling out of their brands too. And Fanatics wasn't even selling their jerseys until they would change their name. And FedEx, who brands their stadium name FedEx Field, was going to pull out too if they didn't change their name. So they were under a lot of pressure. And at that point, unlike the Cleveland Indians who just chose to change their name, the Washington football team was so much under pressure. Brands were pulling away until they changed their name. So they were basically forced to rebrand their entire franchise. Unlike the Cleveland Indians, where that was just more of a choice than a controversy. But that's a whole nother topic for another time. So, I mean, you could look at it at the allegations. Others could look at it as them legitimately rebranding, which personally, that's kind of the boat I'm on. Uh, I do feel, like you said, I do feel bad for the cheerleaders that did lose their jobs. You know, what I mean, or just don't even want to participate in this. You know, they feel like that they should be like every other NFL team and have a cheerleading squad. Like you said, they had. You said they had a men's cheerleading squad too, right?
Ye- Yeah, they called it the cheerleaders called it, I think, the R team or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, so they could have done something like that too, but ultimately this is what they chose to do. But with that said, you know, I hope it works in their favor. And again, I do apologize for the cheerleaders that that aren't going to join in or are affected by this. You know, obviously, when change comes like this, people do get affected by it. So you got to keep that in mind. So I do apologize to those who are affected by the change. But with that being said, I wish the football team the best of luck, and I hope this all goes in their favor.